Today I'll be showing you how I made this sunflower granny square. Let's begin. A 4 crochet hook. I'll begin with making a magic circle. Let me demonstrate that for you. You can choose to make the magic circle however you like. This is how I make it. Once you're done with making the magic circle, put single crochets into the circle. That's the first one there. I'll make a total of 6 single crochets into the magic circle. I've got 5. I'm going to make the last one. That's 6 single crochets. I'm going to pull the ring close, go back into the working loop and make a slip stitch into the first single crochet. You might have to wiggle your way into that stitch. That's alright. For row 2, I'll make chain 2. For row 2, I'm going to make 2 double crochets in each of the single crochet I made for row 1. That's the first stitch right there. This is not the stitch that I made the slip stitch into. I'll make my first double crochet and the second one into that same stitch. This is called an increase, where we put 2 stitches in one stitch, and I'll make that increase in each of the stitches from row 1. So I'll have a total of 12 double crochets without counting the chain 2 we began this row with. Quickly counting, I've got 12 double crochets. I'll go into that first double crochet and make a slip stitch. That's the end of row 2. I'm going to give that yarn tail one more tug to pull the magic circle close. You can now cut off this color. For row 3 now, making a slip knot. Now this is how I join colors. I'm going to be making treble crochets for row 3. So I will wrap my yarn twice on the hook like I usually would do while making a treble crochet. Then I will insert the hook into any of the stitches from the previous row. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops only, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops only. I'm going to not complete this treble crochet. Instead, I will yarn over twice again and make another treble crochet into the stitch. Yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops. Again, leaving the treble incomplete, I'll make one more into the same stitch, leaving that incomplete as well, making the fourth treble into the same stitch. Now I have 4 incomplete treble crochets. I will yarn over, pull through all 4 of them. This is a treble crochet cluster. I'll put a chain 3 and repeat the cluster in the next stitch. For this row, we are going to be making a 4 treble crochet cluster in each of the stitches from the previous row, and between all those clusters there will be a chain 3 chain space. Now let me quickly finish this row. I'll meet you at the end. I've made 12 petals. This is how we'll finish this row. Make the last chain 3 space and slip stitch directly into the cluster head. Let me show you that stitch. This is right here. I'll make a slip stitch there. Now I'll cut off this yarn and change to the next color for row 4. Now let me explain why we started the row the way we started it. It's because now you have your beginning tail and the end tail in the same spot. I'll tie a knot using the two, and again to secure the first knot, I'll tie one more. Now I'm making a slip knot with the third color. Since I'm going to be making a double crochet for my next row, I'll choose any of the chain spaces that we've created. I'll yarn over once, go directly into the chain space, not in any stitch, directly into that big chain space there. Insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through first 2, yarn over again and pull through the last 2. That's my first double crochet. Similarly, I'll put one more double crochet, so I'll have 2 double crochets. Then I'm going to make a treble crochet, so I will yarn over twice, insert my hook into that same chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first 2, yarn over, pull through next 2, yarn over, pull through last 2. So that's a full complete treble crochet. I'll make one more of treble crochets into the same chain space. Now this is half of my work in the corner. I'm building the corner of the square. This is half of it. So let me first move these stitches to one side so I have space to make more. Making 2 chains and making the same stitches in a reverse order now. So I'll be making 1 treble, second treble, third double, fourth double. That's the first treble. Second stitch is also a treble crochet, then a double crochet, and one more double crochet. If you match this to the chart I have given you, you'll see that the corners will show you 4 stitches. Now I'll make the sides. I'm going to make chain 2 and make a double crochet into the cluster head. I'll skip the first chain 3 space and go directly into the second petal from that corner. You want to go into the head of that cluster. This is how it will look. It will be the stitch that is connected to the cluster. Making the first double crochet in that stitch and making one more double crochet in that same stitch. It should be right above the cluster. Continuing to make chain 2, and I'll now build my second corner. Again, you will be skipping the chain space, skipping that petal, going directly into the second chain space. So I'll start with the same 4 stitches that I made for the first corner, 2 doubles and 2 trebles. So that's the first double crochet. First treble crochet and one more. Again chain 2 like we did last time, and making those same set of stitches in the reverse order. This will make our corner number 2. While you're making this row, pay close attention to the number of petals and number of chain spaces that you're supposed to be skipping. Between every two corners, there is 3 petals and 2 chain spaces. The petal in the center between two corners is where you will be making the 2 double crochet stitches. That's where my third corner will come. To finish this row, you will make the last chain 2 and slip stitch into the first double crochet that we made at the beginning of this row. Cutting off the olive color and again tying the starting tail and the end tail together. Making a slip knot with our fourth color. Making a double crochet into the first double crochet at the corner, yarning over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first two, yarn over, pull through next two. I'm going to be putting one double crochet in the rest of these three stitches. Now for the corners, we'll be making two double crochets, chain two, two double crochets. That's double crochet number one, double crochet number two. I'll make a chain two and make two more double crochets into that same chain space at the corner. And continue making double crochets in the rest of the stitches thereafter. While you are doing that, don't forget that first stitch, it might get hidden under the double crochets you put in the corner. That's right there. One double crochet in there and one double crochet in the rest of the three stitches thereafter. That's your corner. This is how we'll be making all the four corners. Four double crochets on the stitches from the previous row and two double crochets, chain two double crochets into the corner. Now for the sides, I'm going to be making treble crochets, but instead of making it in the current row, that is the green row, I'll be making them in the previous row, that is the yellow row. Right there. Going in there, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through first two, yarn over, pull through next two, yarn over, pull through last two. That's my first treble crochet right there. Again, into the chain space from the yellow row, treble crochet number two, making one last double treble crochet into that space. So that's one, two, three. So I have three treble crochets into the chain space of the yellow row. Now I'll be making three more treble crochets into the chain space right next to that one, skipping the petal in between. From here on, we'll repeat the same stitches we made in the corner as before, doubles in the stitches, two double crochet, chain two double crochet in the corners. Continue this row in the same way to make the corners and the sides. Once again, finishing the row with a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we made at the beginning.